Hi everybody, hello and welcome to EZChat show. And EZChat is where I speak to entrepreneurs from all over the world about the success of video in their marketing journey. I'm Juliet Stapleton. I am the founder of Easy Marketing for Solopreneurs and also creator of Fearless Video Marketing. It is a program to help entrepreneurs to get confident and attract clients with authentic video marketing. Today, I'm very excited because I'm here with Prosper Taruvinga. And Prosper is absolutely amazing when it comes to videos and live videos. And the results of his efforts are speaking for themselves. If you don't know Prosper, you must look him up. He will give you all the information and join him and have a look what he's doing because this is amazing. Prosper, I'm going to pass it on to you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your story and about your success.
Thank you so much, Juliet. And I really want to thank you, first of all, for being yourself, your very authentic self. And second of all, being the person that is trying to help others. At the end of the day, we are living in a society where everything is so overwhelming. And if we don't have leaders and people like yourself that are showing us the way, it's going to be difficult. And sometimes some people would never try. So for that, I really appreciate you. Okay. So,
thank you.
Yeah, like you said, I was born in Zimbabwe, but I moved to Australia 6 years ago. And now living here with my wife and daughter. And yeah, just really trying to help other people along the way while I'm also learning how to do these things just like you're doing yourself. And thank you so much for having me on your show today.
I am so delighted, and our stories are very similar because I'm in Ireland at the moment, but I'm not from Ireland myself. I'm from Estonia, and I came here 18 years ago, and I have a family here. And you know, the whole journey of where you came from and where you are now, and how you go from absolutely nothing, just with the search for better life for yourself and to make your dreams come true, and it brings you to places you don't expect, and then you meet people you don't expect, and life just goes on and on and on. And this is the journey, and I love your journey. You were a model. You came from Zimbabwe. You didn't know anybody. You just came in and you just did it, man. And then you went to the top, and then everybody knows you, and you're like, well, I'm not even from here, okay? So I love that. I go to the local town where I'm from, and I am so proud because there's loads of businesses that I worked with over the last 5 years, and right. I see there's a logo I designed, there's this I did. I feel fantastic about this because it's all great. This is the journey that we have, but we all have our own why we do this. So right. Share with us, what is your why? What drives that energy that you have?
All right. So this energy that I have, I've got to maintain it because I'm doing it for my future descendants. So I'm going to take you back a little bit because you mentioned that I came in from Zimbabwe, which is the flag that you can see there. I keep it there so that it reminds me where I came from. And no matter how good my life has become, it grounds me to where I came from. So I came to Australia 6 years ago with nothing but a backpack full of hopes and dreams. And as you come to any place, you know no one, and you don't even know how things work out. I automatically started missing home, and I got a phone plan, all right, because I had no friends, and I accumulated a $500 bill. So that was my first introduction to hello credit card area in Australia. So I had no friends, I had nowhere to go, and I really needed to belong. And like you say, humans, I'm coming from Africa where community is, part and essence of who you are, and like what you're trying to build in your community, because people are trying to belong and be something, right? So when you come to a place where the language is different, the people are different, and you got to find your feet, that didn't happen easily. So yeah, I was sharing houses with people. I went into debt. I went into a lot of trouble that I'm not gonna be telling you right now. But eventually I stumbled onto something that then turned my life around in the first stage of the time that I was here, the first 3 years. A friend of mine that I was living with at that time, at their work, they were looking for people that wanted to be models, and they were not being paid for it. But I didn't think I would be the right person to do it. So as soon as I went there, the people started telling me, "Oh, you're a natural. You should do this more often." And then I started looking into it, and I'm like, this is something I can do without even having to create a skill for it. So I went in for a year or two. It was not easy, but I don't want to, toot my own horn right now. I'm on the speed dial of quite a lot of really important people in Melbourne right now, and they call me up for dinners and drinks and smoking cigars, something that I never thought was possible. But I just kept the vision ahead, and most of them, I'm now running their businesses, I'm doing their social media, and I get invited to all these parties. For me to get there was a lot of hard work and connecting with a few other people, right? Up until I sort of let that go, because now I'm married and I'm concentrating on looking after my girl. And from that lonely phase of knowing no one, having no contacts at all, to being the life of the party and being invited to A-list celebrity events, it's an amazing journey. It's an amazing journey.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes it takes confidence, and you come to a country, you don't know anybody, and you just have that, light at the end of the tunnel. You know where you're going. I'm very similar to you, because I came to Dublin, and I had some music background. I used to sing in Estonia, and I immigrated in the height of my, music activities and good job and everything. I just said, no, my heart is somewhere else. So I went looking for it, and I came to Dublin, and I just started doing jazz gigs, because it was very easy. You didn't need to write songs. You just had the standards. You could go, hire musicians or get together and jam. And it was sort of like yourself, the networking, and then you keep growing, and you keep going into that direction of that light. And for me, it really worked out, because I did have like an established jazz singing career for a couple of years, but I also met my other half, and that made my whole immigration made sense why I'm here in Ireland, because I don't think that I'm going to stay here in Ireland. This is my stop, via sort of Ireland. Then there's my next destination is somewhere in the south, because the weather here is so bad. But it's not about this show is not about the weather. So what I want to find out today from you, Prosper, is when did you start using videos for what you're doing now? Tell us about Livelong Digital. Tell us about what you're doing now and how you're using the video media to shine your light.
Right. So obviously, in the midst of all that modeling and failing and trying to do that, I was working other jobs as well to sustain what I was doing. And one of the jobs that I did was working in a restaurant, behind the scenes in a restaurant as a dishwasher. And the guy who owned that restaurant did not have a social media presence. And he was yelling at everyone because there was no customers coming in, and he wanted to make sure that people are treating the customers well, because that's all he had. And I was like, why don't you just use social media? And he's like, I don't know how to do that. And that's when I jumped on. I was like, you know what? I've got Facebook. I can create a page for you. And
yay! I was hoping this will happen. The beauty just came into the room. Look at that cuteness. Oh my God. And this is the why. This is the current why.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So
we can join in. The more the merrier.
Right. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So there I was, and I was like, you know what? We can create this. We can start, creating a Facebook. You know what I should do? We can always edit this out. Let me fix that.
Okay.
But you see her, right?
Okay.
All right. So what was I talking about? We were talking about the restaurant, right? Okay.
Okay. Yes. So.
All right. So yeah. So in the midst of me, doing all the other jobs, I started working in a restaurant, and then I helped him with the social media. From then on, I realized that there is quite a lot more other people out there that might need those services. Okay. So I started reading a lot so that I would have answers. And before I knew it, I started performing quite well, and he started gaining a lot of numbers on the page and a lot of followers and people coming to the restaurant. So he started talking about me to his other restaurant friends. And one of them approached me and says, I will pay you $200 a week to run my social media just like that. And I was like, wait a minute, is this even a thing? So that was like 4 years ago. And automatically I then just started studying, because now I'm being paid for it. I needed to perform well for it. And and from then on, I accumulated a couple of clients. It wasn't easy, but the only way I could get out and speak to people was either through creating videos, or it was either through going out and networking with people. And I later on realized that with video, you don't have to keep repeating yourself. You don't have to say things over and over and over again, okay? So I had to learn really quickly to not be shy of the camera, and I had to learn really quickly to express myself in such a way that people would understand.
Well, that's right. And then when it comes to confidence, this is a topic that's really close to my heart. So when it comes to confidence on camera, what was then the biggest lesson for you? When did it click? Did you have to face some demons, or was it very natural? How did it happen to you?
Okay, so everyone is different, but I think confidence is an ego thing, all right? You're always afraid what the other person is thinking of. But I'll show you something that will change your mind about how people perceive another person. People only look at you for 3 seconds, and the rest of the time they're looking and watching at themselves, how they think, how they react to what you're saying, and how they are accepting that information. So automatically they're not looking at you, judging your hairstyle, your earrings, or where your lipstick is. Okay? Like right now.
That's right.
Exactly. So once you know that, and if you do have a message that you really need to bring out there, I've got a question for you. Who are you to stop the person to hear that message just because you feel like you're not adequate? All right. So maybe your message was going to help somebody start, scale, and grow their own business, but then you stop it. You stop yourself from letting that person hear that information just because of your own ego. All right. So that's one of the things that when you start living in a place of giving, when you start living in a place of it's no longer about you, you find the confidence. And confidence also comes with knowing what you're talking about. Confidence also comes with, a pre-game. All right. Your pre-game is maybe reading, right? Or maybe just being ahead of who your competition is. That would give you confidence, because whatever it is, you would want to show it. When a kid writes something, all they want you to do is stick it on the fridge, so that it boosts their confidence. They've done something. They want you to see it. Okay. But what happens now when we're older, we are always thinking that people are judging us. No one cares until you make them care. All right. So
that's right.
Yeah, exactly. If you really, really look at certain things like certain jobs or certain activities, if your kid is performing in a theater, or if your kid is about to be run over by a car, you will go straight in and save them. All right. So it's pretty much the same thing. Just think that whatever you're going to say, your words, your actions, the way you present yourself is saving somebody from hurting themselves or from whatever it is they're going through. And when you ask yourself this question, who am I to stop that person or to stop myself from reaching out to that person, you will find the answer in confidence.
It is an amazing perspective, I find. It's such an amazing, because it's so much bigger than you. When you start giving, you are being re-given back as well. You get so much kickback out of that. The energy is fantastic, and with you and your videos, Prosper, I find I'm addicted to your videos. Now, I can't watch them always live because you're 5 hours ahead of me, and sometimes it doesn't happen. But I swear, if I put it on, I can't stop watching until it's finished. I just can't go away, because there's just this energy. It's not even sometimes what you're saying, but it's the energy itself, and I will be watching it. And I think it's fantastic because you can just feel that giving, and you're getting it back. That's fantastic.
Wow, so, thank you. Because
yes,
I'll tell you something. Your story and your experience has a lot of market value and informative value for the next person more than you could ever realize. Okay, I've got a little girl, 2-year-old. You've seen her, and I'll tell you a story. I taught her how to tie her own shoelaces. All right, so what have I saved her from doing there? I've saved her from tripping from her shoes and bruises and her crying and feeling hurt and feeling inadequate. But how long did it take me to teach her? 2 seconds. All right. So you never know what your words have. You never know what your energy is going to do for anyone. You never know what your inspiration would give somebody when they watch you, when they listen to you, and when they play you back again. It's not a matter of you showcasing or parading your new clothes or anything else. It's the value that you give to the next person, because your value in the marketplace is predicated by the amount of people that come back to you and say, because of you, I did not give up. So if you have people in your market that are saying that and spreading the word for you and sharing your content, sharing your videos, and helping you actually reach to other people that can be, do, and have just because of seeing you or hearing your voice, then your mission becomes bigger. You get more fulfilled, and you wake up every single day knowing that if I don't do this, somebody's stuff is not going to move. And who am I to stop that person from reaching their goals?
That is brilliant. But tell me this as well, because there is definitely a kickback from giving, the giving the value and giving that information to somebody. But for you and your business, there is definitely then going back to the ground a monetary reward, or the success in you. So in the last 2-3 years, though, since you started using the videos to promote your business, how is it going? Because I know even yesterday, you did a 1-hour live video and it brought you really tangible results. And so tell me just a little bit, just to kind of finish this off as well, that there's 2 ways to look at it. There is the helping other people, and it's an amazing, it's the feeling that it creates, it just ticks your fulfillment needs boxes, it's amazing. But then we're also doing it because we need to support our whys, our goals, our dreams, and sometimes we need to make money to make those dreams happen. So how did the videos, and would you say that the videos had a deciding part on how successful your business is right now?
Okay, so right now, we are coming in an era where everybody was being told that content is king. So there's a lot of content on the market. Now, if you really want to stand out as a brand, you can then become the person that curates that content, cuts it into smaller pieces and bites chunks, and then deliver it to others so that they don't have to scroll through the internet to get that information. Now, the reason why you want to do this is people are coming to the internet to get information. All right. And if your brand is the brand that's providing that information, they get to know, like, and trust you. And when people know, like, and trust you, they do business with you. Just yesterday, I did a video that was an hour long, and that's the biggest, highest paying video I've ever done. It paid me 4,500. Okay. The reason is somebody got so inspired. They had been watching me for about 6 months. All right. They got so inspired. And then pretty much after I finished that video call, they gave me a call and they're like, you know what, brother, I want to learn what you know. All right. So I actually literally was paid 4,500 for 1 hour yesterday. Okay.
But it didn't take just 1 hour. It took the 6 months.
So it's taken
because it builds up.
Yes. So this is where my point comes in now. It takes 6 to 8 times for somebody to actually digest, know, like, and trust your content. That's the reason why Coca-Cola advertises to you 6 to 8 times every single day. That's the reason why you see McDonald's adverts 24/7, because they want to make sure that you are buying their product at least once a day, because on the number 8, you are now convinced that, yes, this is something that I want, because you're now familiar with the product. You are now knowing that this is the product that would help me solve my problem. Okay. So yes, this client or this prospective person has been following me for all this time, but any person right now can copy and paste a status, or can copy and paste a whole book and put it out there as if that's them. But if you can talk for more than 2 minutes on a subject that's dear to you, then you are way up there with the experts. All right, because not a lot of people can talk for more than 2 minutes straight about a subject topic that they really like, without having to gather their thoughts or to actually think. It's something that's scientifically proven. Every time I go on a video for 30 minutes, all right, I repurpose that video into a blog. Okay, and when I have repurposed that content into a blog, I then also download it from Facebook and upload it onto YouTube. So that then constitutes me having created content for all those platforms. All right. So what I'm trying to say is, you can find me on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can visit my blog. And maybe I can give you a link to my free content tips, where I have created 100 ideas that you can use to start putting out content there. Because like I said, people need to see you at least 6 times. All right. So if it's video that you're using, not everyone is going to see or watch your videos up until the end. But if you give them little bite-sized pieces of content throughout the day, by the time your video comes in, they're already familiar with you. They will sit through the 30 minutes. They'll sit through the 5 minutes. They'll sit through the 20 minutes. All right. So that's the trick behind there. You can't just put video on its own. It needs to have sides. Okay. So if you go to McDonald's, would you like fries with that? Those are the little bits of content that then support somebody's need to say, you know what? This guy has been giving me so much value throughout. I'll sit and watch and hear what he's got to say.
So basically then you're saying as well that it's very important to prepare. So it's not just you switch on the camera and off you go. You do need to prepare. What is your process, just in short? What is your process, let's say, for the day? You know you have your video coming in. Do you have it written out? Do you have the outline? How do you get ready for this? And how do you feed that little bits of information before the video?
So video preparation starts the day before. I usually ask a question in my Facebook feed and find out what people are talking about. And from then, I then pick up a bite size, a problem, or something that people really need to address. Okay. And then in the morning, all right, let's revert back. I have a schedule of how my day works through. I have 2 o'clock blocked out for calls, blocked out for anything. Nobody can contact me from 2 o'clock to 2:30 while I'm doing my video. That's every single day. All right. So that also, as an entrepreneur, just because you're not supposed to be hustling all the time, it doesn't mean you don't have to be doing stuff within your business. And if you don't schedule some things, or you don't schedule content creation, it's not going to happen, because you know what? Somebody might just drop in an email and then it takes you down a rabbit hole, and then you forget what you're supposed to be doing. All right.
That's right. Yeah.
If you schedule in what time you want your content created, so 2 o'clock is my time for content. All right. And what then happens is the topic that would have been heated in my news feed yesterday is what I then look at, and then just spice out a few dot points. Usually 4 to 5 points is more than enough. Okay. And then most of the things that I talk about is surface level stuff. I never go down into the deep stuff of how you actually put a pixel and you click this button or whatever, because that takes too much time and nobody has time for that. People just want to hear an umbrella through, a wipe through. If you actually listen to my videos, this is a big secret. Most of the stuff is just regurgitated, but it's said on a different angle, different topic, but it's still the same thing. Most important things that I always keep repeating is the message market media. That's very important, that you got to have a message in whatever video you're going to put out there to get anyone's attention. You got to have a message in it. You got to know the market that that message is going to. All right. So who is supposed to be listening to this message, and what effect or what emotion are you trying to pull out of them, out of listening to that message you want them to listen to? Then the media can always change. All right. That same video can be on Facebook. That same video can be on YouTube. That same video can be a Snapchat video. That same video can be on Instagram. All right. So the media, a lot of people get too romantic about the media, but your message should go to a market, and then the media can always choose itself.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So that's a fantastic. So it's all about the message, really. The message, right. and who is listening to the message.
Right.
And then you repurpose your content. You know, you don't need to be overwhelmed with that. You just do one thing, and that creates. You know, that's how you just said you can write a blog just out of what you said on the video. Some people do it the other way around. That's fine as well, you know, but as long as this message repeats itself, and then you end up basically delivering this message to everybody through whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
And it's consistent and becomes familiar, and people get familiar with you, and then they like you, and then they want to work with you. That's the circle. This was a fantastic interview.
Yeah. Now you know my whole business model. Then
it is actually a pretty, you know, it makes sense. This just makes sense. This is not a secret, or this is not something that one person invented or something. This is how things work, and they work like this in life, and they work like this in business.
Yes.
And it's all about you being your authentic you and having a message to shine, or light to shine, as I say, to shine to people. You know, yeah. And that's all it's all about. Whatever level you're using it on, personal or business, or whatever level you're doing it on. This was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Prosper. I'm going to put links to your page and to your profile and to your free program as well. And this was in the comments, so this will be available to everybody who's watching this. And I thank you very much for meeting me on a Saturday. This is great. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And thank you again. The information you gave to us today is so valuable. It's way beyond my expectations. And I hope that everybody who's watching it will take something home and put it into their business and start creating the life of their dreams.
Thank you so much for having me on here. And yeah, I'm more than happy to help out. But as long as your message is consistent to a market, the media can vary. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.